When you shape your own destiny, this story takes us back to a time when cities weren't flooded with lights, and the quiet village lanes still carried the earthy scent of rain-soaked soil. In a small corner of one such village, beneath the shade of an ancient peepal tree, sat a 13-year-old boy. His clothes were torn, lips cracked, and eyes filled with a silent pain. Born into poverty, his parents were daily wage laborers who struggled to earn even 2 meals a day. But one day, a fierce flood swept through the village, changing his life forever. The waters rose, homes vanished, and his parents went missing, never to return. When the flood finally receded, everything was gone. No home, no parents, no one to turn to. For a few days, the villagers helped. But slowly, that help faded. Some whispered, "Orphans have no future." Others said, "He'll survive by begging." At that young age, the boy realized something that would take years to understand. If he wanted to survive, he'd have to build his life with his own hands. With hope in his heart and pain in his steps, he began walking toward the nearby city, dreaming he might find work. But the city was harsher than anything he expected. Crowded streets, rushing footsteps, eyes that never stopped to see his hunger. For days, he begged. But even then, his heart wasn't at peace. Something inside told him, "This isn't the life I'm meant for." One night, sitting silently on a footpath, a middle-aged man noticed him. He wore simple clothes, but his eyes held wisdom. He asked gently, "Why are you begging like this?" The boy looked up and replied, "I have no other way. What else can I do?" The man nodded slowly, then said something that stuck: "Destiny helps those who help themselves. If you're willing, I can show you a better path." The boy hesitated. But there was something about the man's voice, something genuine. He gathered courage and asked, "Who are you? What can you teach me?" The man smiled, "I work at a small shop. If you're ready to work hard, I can help you live without begging." The boy had nothing to lose. He followed. The next morning, he began working at a shop that sold sweets and snacks. His first tasks were simple: sweep the floors, wash the utensils. His hands ached, his body tired, but his heart felt something new: hope. At the end of the day, the shopkeeper handed him 5 rupees and a warm roti. It was the first time he had earned anything with his own hands. As he held the roti, he smiled. This felt different from the dry crumbs of begging. The man watched him and said, "This is just the beginning. The real journey begins when you choose to stand on your own feet." That night, the boy made a promise to himself: "I will never beg again." He continued working, but he wanted to do more than just clean. One day, he asked, "Can I learn something else?" The man saw the spark in his eyes and said, "If you're truly willing to learn, don't fear responsibility." And so began his real training. He learned how to count money, speak to customers, and handle goods. He watched people, listened to their needs, and slowly, the shop became his classroom. He began to understand something deep: destiny doesn't change by waiting. It changes when you decide to change it yourself. One day, when the shopkeeper was away, a customer came in and asked for a kilo of gram flour. The boy froze. He had never done this alone. But then, he took a breath, found the packet, weighed it carefully, and handed it over. When the shopkeeper returned and heard the story, he smiled, "You're learning fast. If you keep this up, you'll go far." Those words filled the boy's heart with pride. For the first time, he felt capable. But success never comes without struggle. One busy day, he made a mistake and handed the wrong item to a customer. The customer was furious. The shopkeeper scolded him harshly, "If you can't handle the shop, don't do it at all." The boy was crushed. "Maybe I'm not meant to do something big," he thought. Seeing his sadness, the man pulled him aside and said, "Failure doesn't mean defeat. True strength rises after a fall." The boy wiped his tears and promised to work even harder. He began learning how the shop truly worked from stock to service. He was everywhere. One day, he asked, "Can I open my own shop someday?" The man smiled. "If you work hard, stay honest, and believe in yourself, nothing is impossible." But dreams need money and he had none. So he asked, "Can I do more work to save?" The man nodded. "For those who are willing, doors always open." He introduced the boy to a vegetable vendor. So now, the boy worked on a vegetable cart in the mornings and evenings, and at the shop during the day. Sun or rain, he didn't stop. His legs ached, but every night, he smiled at the growing pile of coins he had saved, each coin earned with dignity. Years passed. He saved enough to buy a small food cart. With permission, he set up a tiny tea and snack stall. The first day he served tea, tears filled his eyes. It wasn't just tea, it was the taste of struggle, patience, and silent strength. People loved it. Word spread. The same boy who once begged now served dozens with a smile. One day, the man who had helped him visited and said, "This is what real destiny is, when your own hands shape your future." The boy bowed. "What you taught me changed my life." Now, he didn't just take care of himself. He began teaching other poor children how to work, how to earn, how to believe. He told them, "If you work hard, you'll never sleep hungry." Years passed. The tea stall became a small hotel. He had his own home, a better life, and most importantly, self-belief. One night, as he sat in front of his hotel, his eyes drifted to the same old footpath where he once begged. Tears welled up, not of sorrow, but of gratitude. He had become living proof that destiny doesn't change by waiting. It changes through effort, honesty, and belief. So if life ever pushes you down, remember, don't beg. Don't give up. Start small. Work hard. Believe. Because true success is never handed to us. It's earned with our own hands.